Hi, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for the week of September 30th through October 6th. Let me get situated here. It's been a couple of days. I celebrated my birthday yesterday. I had the most amazing spa experience. I hadn't had a massage in well over, 6 months. I highly recommend you try it. It's a wonderful gift of self-care to give to yourself, especially during the change of the seasons wherever you are in the world. Today, I've got quite a bit lined up for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the central theme of the week. As I'm doing things a little bit differently, there's not a whole lot happening astrologically. We're kind of holding steady in this beautiful Libran energy, kind of coming out of this intense activation cycle of the eclipse season. Before we hit this full moon, we're kind of gearing up here, but this is the week to really integrate all of these changes and bring about more balance. As the card theme, I read this morning that this is chapter 10 of 2025. So make it a good one. And the central theme, I wanted to kind of have a central theme for the reading today as we start out the month of October, despite it being a number 10 month. This is being represented by Libra energy, which is the card of justice in the tarot. And justice is a neutral force. It's card number 11 in the tarot. I pulled out a friendly justice card in the Witch's Tarot here. As you can see, she's got in her left hand the scales of justice, representing fairness and equal balance. Same thing with, she's holding up a very heavy sword upright. So we have the double-edged sword in the right hand, and we have the scales of justice in the left, symbolizing balance, fairness, acting in our own integrity. This is our relationship to self and to source. And as long as we're embodying both of these aspects, we are really paying attention and honing in on throughout this season and this year around what we have done in the past and what we're doing presently really impacts the future. This card is juxtapositioned, right? It's heavily influenced by the High Priestess and also the Judgment card, which is also known as the card of karma. Sometimes we think of karmic justice as like this retribution, smacked down by the universe. It really is a neutral force based on the law of cause and effect. And so in essence, what we need to be working on this week is integrating everything that we have been moving through in our past collectively and individually, and in our present collectively and individually, so we can make the future more aligned embodiment of these two forces, of our relationship, which Libra does symbolize, our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to source. All of those energies will coalesce into how we relate to other people. And the more we actually hone in and emphasize these two parts of our lives and make them the central core theme, we integrate a more aligned, embodied, whole perspective. And so that's what justice brings. It really is the card number 11 smacked down before we get to the World card and the Judgment card before that. So this is a season 2. One thing that also want to highlight is she has the emerald, which is also a symbol of Libras, right? In the month of October, Libra season. Emerald is the garnet, you could say, or the emerald is also the crystal embodiment of wisdom. We also have the black-eyed Susans here in these urns. So all of these symbolize fairness, balance, equality, integrity, truth. So I really want you to focus this week. We're going to get into the quotes on, as much as you can, what do you need to integrate or shift in order to come into alignment, into more balance with your relationship with yourself and relationship with source? Because everything else will fall into place from those intentions. So I would highly encourage all of you to pull out the Justice card in your decks at home this week and actually clarify it and ask, what do you need to focus on in order to come into greater balance and harmony after the intense activation cycle we've been in? Because this is definitely a week of renewal and integration and just coming back into center. What do you need to do physically, mentally, spiritually, right? Body, mind, and spirit to come back into wholeness and come back into balance. So, love justice season. So, let's get into some of the quotes. I just thought I'd share that perspective instead of some of the astrological themes, as this really is a week where we're kind of restoring balance after the storm, right? So here's some quotes. The first one is from the higher self, and this is symbolic of the flow of the universe. Another thing to note, too, we have the purple curtain behind her here, symbolizing we can't always have it all figured out, that there is a mysterious flow to the universe, and we can't always predict what's going to happen. But what we can do is to stand in our center of truth and our center of power, speaking from our authentic selves, from this place of deep embodiment. All right? Okay. Staying in alignment with source, in alignment with our own integrity. Speaking the truth. So, we're going to be talking about the flow of the universe, a reflection on suffering, wisdom and forgiveness, being of service in difficult times, glimmers to look for the week, and also some poetry prompts for October. So, this is from the higher self. The universe works in mysterious ways. There are certain things that happen in your life that can't be planned by you, and yet they somehow become some of the greatest moments. The more you live spontaneously and flow, the more you clear resistance and things start happening through you. You discover the spiritual dimension of life when you are not trying to control everything and live moment to moment. Let your heart and soul guide you towards the journey that the universe has in store for you. Just align and flow. That was by Pawan Nayar. So this is by Evie on Earth, these next three. What's my role in my own suffering? Is one of the most healing questions that we don't ask enough. What's my role in my own suffering? Especially as it relates to cause and effect, because who you are today is merely a reflection of your past and present choices, okay? And that's going to impact your future. This is the card, the midpoint, right? Before we get to karma judgment, before we wrap up a cycle. And it really is a huge card of neutrality, of focusing on balance. Where can you restore balance in yourself, in your life? Then we have a Sufi holy man was asked what forgiveness is. He said, it is the fragrance that flowers give when they are crushed. It is the fragrance that flowers give when they are crushed. That is so gorgeous, isn't it? These are not easy times to be alive, but these are amazing times to be of service. Okay? And the biggest thing I know when it comes to service is just spreading kindness and love. Just spreading and looking at people in the eye, looking at everyone you encounter, look them deeply in the eye and see them truly beyond the mask they wear, beyond the words and actions that they have done upon you, beyond your projections, beyond your worries of the future. Just see them and try to come from your heart. The glimmers to look for this week as we enter into this beautiful new month of October. Look up at the night sky, light the fancy candle, soak in a sunset, watch your favorite movie for the 100th time, walk barefoot on grass or sand, make a new playlist for this season of life, find the shape of an animal in the clouds, listen for birdsong, smile at a stranger, snuggle a pet, cook something slowly while listening to a podcast, visit an art gallery or museum, text an old friend. And then these poetry prompts I thought were amazing. You can also use them. I'm going to use them too. If you're not into writing poetry, journal prompts. Pick one this week and just expand upon it wherever you want to go with it. Okay. Number one, love that wilts the soul. Oof. Those are some words right there. Love that wilts the soul. Where are you going to go with that? And I'd love to hear these. So share them in the comments. Number two, I am still learning how to miss you. Number three, trace my scars. Number four, last October. Number five, the recipe for life. That'd be a good one. Number six, the trees are buzzing. Number seven, I would rather. Number eight, reaching for your warmth. Number nine, change is getting heavy. Number 10, very old friends. Number 11, it's time to go now, isn't it? And number 12, maybe that's all it'll ever be. Wow. Yeah, those just gave me so much reflection. This is an important time for us to be in our devotion, developing as much as we can, new relationships that are vibrationally aligned with the ascending self. And what that means is the ascending self is the aspect of self that is in right relationship with ourselves and right relationship with source. And once that we embody those two things, this is going to be the biggest highlight of October, okay? Being of service and being in right relationship, and then aligning vibrationally with other people who are in the same energy. Because we've done a lot of the letting go now, and now it's time to integrate. Integrate into more wholeness and balance. So, with that being said, let's pull some oracle messages. It's nice to be back, you all. I took a couple of days off. I needed it. We all need to take time away from the demands and pressures of our work lives to celebrate with friends and family. Thank you for all of your birthday wishes. Thank you for all of your support. I love being Libra. I love being here with you all. Thank you. All right. And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for the collective today. What do we need to know about the week ahead? What do we need to know? We have pathway beyond. Look at that. Release what no longer serves you and step into the unknown. I am open to new things. What are you doing that's new? I'll tell you what, I got inspired. I'm going to go take horseback riding lessons for 6 weeks. I'm going to learn all about how to take care of a horse. Something new, get me out of my comfort zone, something I've always wanted to do. I rode horses as a child. I spent a number of years in Texas. My dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. And I came across a lot of new exciting things as a Sagittarius rising. So I want to encourage all of you, what are you going to do that's new for you this month? That's going to get you out of your comfort zone and maybe have you tap into your inner child a little bit more, to creativity, to freedom, to play. You know, the enrichment, right? The personal enrichment that Libra can often bring. You know, just the creative exploration that brings wonder and awe into our lives. That's just an example. I'm signing up for those horseback riding classes and lessons for 6 weeks at a nearby farm. So be open to new things. Be open to new things. The pathway beyond. Okay, what else, Spirit? What else? The next one. Ooh, the treasure within, going deep. Going deep into our third eye activation. A lot of us are opening and deepening into our own intuitive abilities, psychic gifts. Connect to your authentic self and let your genuine heart lead you. I stay true to my values. Stay true to what you value. That is a very deep value of justice. Staying in alignment with your true self and being genuine. Being genuine. We need more of that in the world today. Find your treasure within, okay? Honor the treasure within. Stay true to what you value as you open up to new things. And then the last one, guided steps. Trust the process even when your path seems blocked or unclear. I keep moving forward. Yes. Maybe it's a little precarious, right? Some of the pathways that we have to navigate. Maybe it's complicated, right? Maybe it's difficult. But you know what to do, right? Stay true to your values and be open to trying new things. You are being lovingly guided. We've got the little goat here. You know, there's a tenacity in being alive. And sometimes all we have to do is surrender. And like I said with the words here from the very beginning, we have, let your heart and soul guide you towards the journey that the universe has in store for you. Just align and flow. Align and flow. All right, so let's get into the tarot. I've got all these notes here. I'm kind of making a mess. I want to get the central theme, though, before we do that. What's the central theme of the week that we need to focus on? Understanding your karmic lessons. Oh, Lord. Talk about, and then see the phoenix reborn. These are the two. Wow. Yeah, this is a resurrection, redemption, stepping into our power. The reclamation of the divine feminine. Look at her. Our freedom. What do you want to remove, align with, return to wholeness in, restore balance in order to rebirth, right? The energy that is going to allow you to make peace with your past. And then I just saw 444. And we have the raven here. They're having a conversation. And looks like she is shedding tears. I think it takes a lot of courage to be tender with oneself, to allow your emotions to flow. We have 2, which is about our relationship with the world, our relationship with ourselves. And then we have the card of 9. So we have this beautiful, almost like a rebirth happening, a renaissance of divine energies at this time. So we are all growing and learning, rising above, right? Our karmic lessons, integrating them along the path of ascension, of wholeness. So this is a really big week of like burning away what no longer serves, coming back into balance, integrating some of these intense energies and understanding why things happen the way they did. Even when, there's a mystery to it all. There is. And I think what it exposes is that we're all being lovingly guided, but we need to be open to new perspectives and we need to stay true to ourselves along the way. But we got to keep moving forward. That's the one thing. We want certainty in an uncertain world. And it's just, such a delicate dance. But this week in particular, there's a lot of rebirth and renewal going on, all right? Seeing the phoenix reborn and understanding our karmic lessons as we focus on the divine justice aspects, right, of cause and effect. We have dream. This is what we're working on manifesting. Dreams. I'm ready to receive my dreams and letting go. Wow. It's always a double-edged sword, right? The truth is, in order to reach for more, we have to make room and we have to release as well. So it's a releasing, there's a letting go, there's a cutting away. As you can see, a cutting away of the past karma, the past pain, the past hurts, forgiveness, and then opening up to new dreams. I'm ready to receive my dreams. Wow. Let's go into the tarot. There's a lot of like orange and red fiery energy this week of just understanding. As you can see, there's almost like this ceremonial burning away, honoring the path that you've been on. Has not been easy, my friends. All right, what we don't see coming. The 10 of Pentacles. Long-range visions. We still are under this heavy influence of Virgo energy that the eclipse has brought in. Wow. The 3 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. Wow. This is karmic pain. This is collective pain that we're letting go of. This as a whole. The pain, the suffering that we see in the world at large. The suffering that we carry as a human race. I think this is about, may there be peace, right? With your body, mind, and spirit, especially when it comes to your family, your karmic lineage. A lot of us came down here at this particular time to embody higher light codes, to activate our lineages, to heal ancestral wounds, to activate our cellular matrix to ascend. And I see that we're working this out in real time. This is removing the swords of pain and suffering. And our longest connections are the family ties that bind. I mean, these are long-term contracts. The ones that have caused us the most pain are the ones that we've probably held on to the longest. What do you need to release this week in order to come back into harmony and wholeness? There's no major arcana here, but justice season is about harmony. This is when it's time to have that, conversation, or it's time to let go, right? To forgive. I see it's an opportunity to release old pain this week, to surrender it. The Ace of Pentacles. There's solid investments. Well, there's way too much that's spelled out. I feel like this is what we're all letting go of, though. What is it that we're letting go of? The bridge between is the war between us and whoever was a part of the eclipse season process, right? Whatever came up that challenged you. What are you ready to invest in now? This is what we're leaving behind. Wow. This is all what we're leaving behind. the hardship of conflict, of misalignment, letting things go, right? That we once were really passionate about, the death and the King of Wands over the Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands with the Six of Swords and the Two of Cups. We're heading into harmonious, aligned relationships that are vibrationally matched to the new ascending self that you embody now. That is the hardest work that we have. We're moving into a new era of collective peace within heart, body, and mind. And I think that it's going to be a continuous process of trigger, sitting with it, honoring it, being authentic with the way it's making you feel, not sweeping it, not hiding from it, not running from it, not avoiding it. And a lot of it is about resolving it within yourself first before you expect someone else to resolve it for you. This is conflict resolution and letting go of the conflict and letting yourself be transformed, transmute, metabolize the energies that have maybe riled you over the past couple of months, maybe even the last couple of years. This is long-term pain that we carry. Spirit is saying, let it go. Any old beef, forgive. You know how freeing it is to forgive the past? Because it will always have a hold of you if you do not. This is truly letting go so you can build new dreams. Don't waste your energy on holding on to old grudges, holding on to, face the pain, honor it. Okay? This is a big week of integration and renewal, right? Finding our center after painful events, understanding why. And we've talked about those a lot in the past. Process it. This could be a good week too, like I said, with those journal prompts, poetry prompts. Do something that's new for you, that's going to help you integrate the part of you, the inner child part of you, right? Where your innocence was lost. You know, one of the most beautiful things that I heard recently, and we'll see it repeat, but whenever we hear it, it's so important and it hits so hard. It's this story of, I think I brought it up in one of my readings recently, so forgive me if you've already heard this, but if you can look at everyone you have ever really loved or had pain with as a person in a boardroom that you met up with before this incarnation, and that person said, I'm going to be that one that hurts you the most. And they're going to almost cringe when they say it. But you know how much love that would take for even your very adversary, your enemy, to teach you what you needed to learn to become more whole, embodied, and integrated within yourself to ascend? I would be like, thank you. Thank you. If you can get to that place with your past as a whole, that's integration. And this is the month that we are being called to do it in this chapter 10 of 2025, integrating the last 9-year cycle. Think about it. And if you need to write down that person's name and forgive them for what they did or said and see them in that boardroom before this lifetime and how hard it probably was for them to be in that role on a subconscious level for a lot of them, okay? This isn't something a lot of people are going to realize. The people who have been your greatest teachers that caused you the greatest pain oftentimes will still be asleep in this lifetime. But it's for a higher purpose, so be grateful for it. It's hard, though. It's hard. What's interesting, the only major arcana here, as we march through Libra season in the card of justice, because I am kind of clarifying justice in a way here. What does it lead to? The Scorpio energy of rebirth and renewal, transformation, transformation. Let's get a piece of advice from Spirit. This is healing old wounds, forgiving, so harmony can be restored. So the long-term richness of emotional harmony, love, deep, deep family bonds. This is letting go of past pain that has been inside of you for a long time. And investing now, not in perpetuating any continuous beef or war, and transforming and letting your passions come aligned with the spirit of peace as we move into beautiful aligned soulmate energy. What's the advice? Making peace with the past. I knew it. Six of Cups is showing up with the Four of Wands. This is about your stability and your structure. And what have you done in the past to create more stability and structure in your life? And how do you want to integrate your karmic lessons from the past to provide this rite of passage to create more stability and security in your life? Wow. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which was really the being at a defensive stance and reclaiming your power. Reclaiming your power. And at the bottom of the deck, making peace with your past. This is this is a very singular card in this deck. This might hurt. It's the card of really making peace with the ego, because it's the ego that's going to want us kick up a storm in any situation. Okay? Putting some distance between you and others, where if you know that in order to contend with anyone in your life, that it's going to be a war of words or an ego battle, walk away from it. If that person can't bring a level of mindfulness, of a desire for harmony, of a desire for truth, a desire for being honest and open, the most enlightened people are the ones that can actually hold the most loving boundaries for their own frequency, for their own energy. Anything that's going to put you off balance or be unstable in your life needs to really be looked at. We're talking as a whole here, okay? As a whole. So, yeah. We're moving forward in a more grounded, centered, embodied, integrated self. There's a lot that is being eclipsed out of our lives energetically. This is what we signed up for coming into this lifetime. What did you sign up for? Who was in that boardroom? Why were they there? What did you come here to learn? The more you reflect on this and you honor it and you forgive, the point is to become lighter and lighter and lighter. And this is even forgiving the people that have been in your life for a long time who are not going anywhere, forgiving their egoic responses, trying to make headway in the way you connect and the way you relate and the way you share your ideas. Let's get a message of guidance from the angelic realm. Oh, before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about Journey to the Heart. Melody Beattie's energy for reflection for September 30th, the last day of the chapter 9. What happened in your chapter 9 as we go into chapter 10 of 2025? We have, you're a healer. The healing you give to the world can happen as gracefully and naturally as the pine trees touch and heal with their life, their presence. Arousing your senses, they fill you with their fragrance. Their presence changes your energy, calms your fears, lets you know all is well. Know you can stand tall, joyfully be who you are, and grow where you are. You have the ability to touch those around you in a way that heals them without hurting or draining you. One of your gifts to yourself and to the world is that of the healer. You don't have to force it or strive to make it happen. It happens gently and naturally when you love and accept who you are. Can you love and accept the parts of you that played out your own boardroom volunteer work for someone else's karmic journey? Open to your healing powers, your ability to heal yourself and those around you. Receive this gift with joy. Share it freely with all you meet. Open to your healing powers, and you will cherish your past, all you have gone through and done. Who you are is love. What love does is heal. I think this is a very deeply healing week after the storm, where balance is being restored in the collective, especially around our closest bonds that we've carried pain in. It's time for healing. It's a time for peace. It's a time for surrender. Okay, it's a time for grounding, and resting, and being patient as we come back into balance, okay? A lot of us have a lot of things that we're initiating at this time as far as the changes that we want to create for this new season. Ultimately, this is about peace and harmony and what you need to do to bring more of that into your life. Let's get an angelic energy. And it does require two things: to dream the new dreams. Remember that you're always dreaming, though. This is this is in the Journey to the Heart. It's my ever so faithful bookmark. It is a dream, and we're only here for such a short time. Remember, you're dreaming. The last one I'm going to read about is honesty and communication, which is such a central core theme. I am going to see what's at the bottom, though, just a glimpse into what's coming in Scorpio season. Listening deeply. Listening deeply. Honesty and communication. Let's see what this one has to say. You are being given an opportunity to speak your truth. You have reached a point on your journey where you must be honest with yourself and all those around you. If you're holding anything in or feel you need to share something in order to feel free, know that your angel guide is encouraging you to act on this now. When you share your feelings and speak truthfully, you draw the support and light of the universe into your heart. If you are in a challenging position and find it difficult communicating what is in your heart, call in angels and ask them to support you. They want you to know that when you speak with honesty, you attract experiences that lovingly reflect who you really are. If you feel a person or situation is making you lose a sense of yourself or drawing you away from joy, it's time to speak up and to make sure that you were heard. You're being guided to begin by lovingly connecting with your own heart, to hone in on and honor what you want for yourself and your life. Take time to reflect on what is important to you, where you want to direct your energy, and what your priorities are for the next phase of your journey. Yeah, it is a collective pause. It's almost like when we need to stop and take a deep breath and recoup and restore our energy for the next journey to commence. It may be that you are fighting against the flow and not wanting to admit to yourself that something is holding you back or dampening your spirit. But angels love you and want you to know that honesty is the best policy for you now. Ooh. Such a very deep Libran quality, right? Of being honest with yourself, not holding back. We have a lot of support from the angelic realm. I feel like we want to get one lesson here for the week ahead. What is the spiritual self-care lesson for the week? I will take a step back from unhealthy relationships. Okay, boundaries. That is a very central core theme too. There's a lot of moving on, right? Some of us, past connections, past people, past experiences, past suffering, past hurt. Making peace with it. You can love someone deeply and also know that their presence in your life is not the healthiest thing for you in this moment. Setting a boundary by loving someone from a distance is sometimes the best thing for your emotional well-being. Spend some time considering whether there's someone you need some space from, and then finish the following phrase. Loving blank from a distance means blank. I've given you a lot to ponder and integrate this week. This was I wanted to give you a little bit more this week around what you need to do to come back into balance with yourself, with certain things that have happened this year, with certain individuals. So you can bring about more harmony in your most loving bonds. Some of them you have left behind. Some of them you're really trying to work things out with. And when you come from these perspectives, it can shift the energy dramatically. So make sure that you're very honest and open with the way you clearly communicate where you're coming from, letting go of what no longer serves, opening up to receiving more of your dreams, okay? Beautiful reading today. It's nice to be back with you all. This concludes our reading. I'm going to go into just a few quick announcements. Okay, first things first. I had to sit quietly and peacefully. I had a couple hours on this past Thursday where the horses came to me and said, what do you need to bring more freedom into your life? Because truth be told, I put a lot of pressure on myself to show up here in the way that I do, and oftentimes neglecting my closest bonds. And that might be something that some of you need to hear. Do you work to avoid going deeper with people? Do you create a crazy hectic schedule to feel like, some level of a degree of importance or air of authority? Where do you find your validation? So in essence, what I'm learning is that there's a fine balance between being in service to others and being in service to self. And in an effort to create more balance in my life, I'm holding off on initiating the collective membership portal, at least until November. I'm going to revisit this in a few weeks. It just is too much, right? Trying to navigate being a part of this channel and navigate what I am actually working on removing myself from slowly at the heart of what I do is to help guide people privately. I have a huge private practice. Some of you don't realize this, but I do up to 15 to 20 private readings a week beyond what you see here that I post. And it's a lot. And I've been lovingly holding space for this for years. And I've been called deeper to embody more of a collective group journey, to be a spiritual guide to you all so I can help more people. And so with that being said, the collective is going to be postponed at least till November. I know all of you will understand this. So I can create more balance. Anyone who signed up for a private reading, I want to thank you for the journey that we've had together. Many of you I've finished out. The last reading I'll do for you in the private portal. I am still doing Astro-Tarot readings with PULEO. It is a wonderful journey that we are doing. We are booked out now until the first week of December. We are going to continue to do 2 days a week through the rest of the year. So book your bookings for the Astro-Tarot readings. It is a combined effort where she looks at the transit and then I actually elaborate on that transit with the tarot. So it's a really beautiful way to look at the incoming energies that are coming in for the next 3 to 6 months from when you sign up from the reading or when we do the reading, actually, because there's a little bit of a delay. So we're looking at that time period of when that reading is being delivered to you, is that when that commences. So with that being said, in the new year, we are going to go down to 1 day a week. So if you want to secure your spot, I'd highly recommend you sign up for your Astro-Tarot reading. There'll be more availability in December. Once that closes out, there'll only be 1 day a week where we're doing just a few readings a week, because she and I have big projects in the works. And we wanted to do this to help people to navigate these collective intense energies we've been in all year and beyond, because 2026 is going to be an even bolder year for all of us as we walk into our divine calling even more deeply and we hone in on our spiritual gifts after having to deal with a lot of these karmic lessons to align and embody more with our ascending self. So I believe 2026 is going to be a really beautiful new beginning, planting new seeds of growth, coming together as a collective, more so deepening and embodying in these higher light codes. So just know that the Astro-Tarot is still out and about. I am no longer offering private readings. So if you send me an email, chances are I will not get back to you because that portal is closed. I am booked out now for the rest of the year for my private clientele beyond the Astro-Tarot. So I send you all, without further ado, a beautiful week ahead. Thank you for being here with me. If you followed me to the end of this, I'm going to be getting back to the readings for the rest of October today and throughout the rest of this week. Okay. So just be patient with me. The workflow, the demand has been great. This has been such an intense year for everyone. I cannot believe how many private readings I've done, but I'm at that point now where it's time to pivot. So where are you being called to pivot in your careers so you can bring about more balance in your life? And that's been the biggest thing I've been meditating on recently, especially after the last few days off. I started to get really unwell too. I had a stomach bug and then I got hit with allergies. So when my body starts to be reactive to the pressure of doing too much, my body will literally break down. And my health is very important. As you know, health is very important. So it's a season to restore balance in your life on all fronts, whether it's in a connection, in your own body, mind, spirit, health, and wealth. And also, just make sure you give yourself that gift of not putting pressure on yourself, right? Release the past. Go through these beautiful karmic burning energies, aligning with the soul flame within you, honoring that boardroom assignment, right, of that soul contract, and forgive. I feel like that's the biggest part of Libra season, is forgiving people and being of loving service to yourself and others. Okay. With love. Take care. Namaste.